Hey everybody, ComixDad here, and thank you all for joining me for another special edition of, I don't know what we're going to call this yet, because it's only the second one we're doing. We're not going to call it Talking Shop, because we're not talking all sorts of things. We're here to talk one very specific thing. So I will figure out a name for this at some point. Right now, placeholder name, welcome to ComixDad Supports, I guess. But I am here with three, not one, not two, but three very special guests tonight. If you can't tell by my virtual background here and the background of the whole overlay and everything, and obviously from, the title of the stream, we are here to talk about an independent comic being currently funded for its second chance campaign on Kickstarter, AR-13L, or read as Ariel, The Little Mermaid. It is a book that I came across from watching other people talk about independent comics, and the artist of this book, Erik Hodson, was on a podcast that I watched, and I was like, "Oh, this seems really cool." He mentioned it, and Erik, for those of you who are returning viewers, know that Erik was on Talking Shop a few months back, and he got to tell me more about this project while he was here last time, and I want to know even more, and I looked more into it, and I've been talking to some of the team, and they are here with me today to talk about Ariel, the Little Mermaid. So before I bring them all on, I will play you guys just a clip from the Kickstarter page, just this way you all kind of have a little bit of an idea of what we're going to be talking about tonight. And then we will say hello to everybody. So here we go.
Let's go, Stabby. Pain's coming for every poor, unfortunate soul in our way.
And that is the trailer from the Kickstarter page directly. But now let's get into introducing everybody. First and foremost, we have the writer of the story of Ariel, the Little Mermaid, Piper Steed. Piper, how are you tonight?
I'm all right.
And we have the artist, all the interior art, and also one of the cover arts as well. Friend of the channel, welcome back, Erik Hodson, the dreaded dinosaur.
Yeah, good to be back, man. How's it going?
Going good, man. I'm happy to have you all here. And finally, last but certainly not least, I guess we could call him the conceptualizer, co-creator, and letterer, Mr. Pixel Traitor.
Hello. What's up?
Oh, not a whole lot, man. Thank you all so much for joining me. And I believe, Pixel, you were telling me the other day that this may be not just a ComixDad first, but a Team Mermaid first, and a ComixDad exclusive, possibly having you all on the same stream at the same time. Is that correct?
I was trying to think back when we were all on the same stream together. I know we were talking about it backstage. Maybe Erik remembers, but I know that we tried to do Shay's stream, but it didn't work because my connection was bad. I was remote at the time. But I can't remember where all three of us might have been on at the same time.
Well, the most memorable one was the Iron Age guy. What was his name?
Reese. Yeah, you guys were on, but I wasn't. I was in the
I could
chat
swear you were on there with us. Yeah, it was just Piper and I.
Yeah, I was out with my wife, but I was listening in and then commenting the whole time.
So yeah, dude, like you've got all three of us. That's never happened in the history of time.
Let's go. Look at that. ComixDad channel getting all sorts of exclusives. I got exclusives with Michael Odin last time. Got exclusives with you guys. Got some exclusives with a web of Dreams Uncharted. We're getting all the exclusives in the indie comics world. I'm excited. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
But real quick, before we get into our talk about your guys' wonderful, awesome, badass, kick-ass project here, let's say hello to those who have joined us in the chat so far. So first we've got our buddy Senior Chunky. What's going on, Senior Chunky? How are you, man? Error of Fate. What's going on, Error? Good to see you, as always. And then Uncle Martin Sucks at Gaming over on Rumble says, "All can't stay long. Have a great stream." Uncle Martin, thank you so much for stopping by, man. I appreciate it, and I hope you're well. But yeah, so Little Mermaid. Obviously, we see here she is a badass with a minigun.
Who's a badass?
I mean,
I am.
yes, Queen Comics Wife. Queen Comics Wife came in to get something. She goes, "Who's a badass?" And she goes, "Wait, yes, I am. Yes, Queen Comics Wife, you are a badass." But I guess let's start with how this all kind of came to be. Where did the origins of Little Mermaid? Actually, you know what? Before we do that, I don't know if it's whether Piper, if maybe you, since you're the writer, and if you want to maybe go through this, or collectively, if you guys want to talk about it, if you guys can give the audience just, I guess, a brief synopsis or a brief overview of just what the book is, what it's about, without giving too much. This way, they have something to enjoy when they go to back this in the next 9 days.
I want to hear this from Pixel because Piper and I have been doing all the video work. So take it away, boss.
All right. So the pitch. So it's kind of funny because we kind of whittled this down quite a bit to try to make it as concise as possible, because originally I didn't have the premium Twitter upgrade, whatever, and so it was like, okay, how can I fit this inside of a tweet? But what was the tagline I've got here? It says, the sanctity of the mermaid kingdom is put at risk when a smuggler loses an illicit shipment off the coast of Argentina in the late 1950s. He wants his weapons back. She wants war. And ultimately what this is a love letter to the 1980s action film genre told through the lens of the Little Mermaid. And it's just this crazy mashup of that cool kind of fairy tale world thing that just goes to hell with guns and explosions and as much death and destruction as we can pipe into it. So it's been a blast since we first came up with this. But the impetus, as you mentioned a second ago, it started as a tweet. It was just a shit post that I made to see if I could piss off Disney stans, because they had just released the trailer for the new Little Mermaid movie. People were pissed off because it was... Oh, actually, they hadn't even done the trailer yet. They just announced it. That's what it was. And and everybody saw that it was a black Little Mermaid, and people were freaking out. And I'm like, okay, how can I try to go viral here and mess with people? And so I was playing with AI at the time. I think guns were trending also because people were pissed off about a shooting that happened or whatever. So I'm going, okay, machine guns and Little Mermaid, go. And so I did a prompt for a mermaid with a machine gun, took it into Photoshop, gave her some red hair, replaced the gun because AI can't draw guns for crap, and then made it look like a cover for a comic, and I posted it, and it blew up.
And I believe I actually have that right here, so give me a second and I will pull it up.
Yeah.
There we go. So this is the infamous tweet right here.
That's the infamous tweet. And the old logo, because again, I wasn't putting too much time into this. It was mostly just to mock it up and see what people would say about it. And it came, I think I looked at it a little bit later and it had almost 500 likes. I think a bunch of people got banned since then because it's down to like 400 something. But
yeah, probably.
But yeah,
it looks like you were just kind of chronicling, I guess, over the next few months after that as well.
I just started making posts, but we had the team formed within a couple hours. Both Piper and Erik rolled into my DMs. Piper saw, I have a story for this. I'm writing this. It wasn't, can I write this? It was, I'm writing this. It was, I know what, she just knew what she had to do with this thing. And like, okay, let's do it. And then Erik said basically the same thing, but the art version of it, which is, I want to work on this. You have my pencil or something. I can't remember exactly how he wrote it, but basically, you've got me. Just let me work on this thing. And so we got together in a DM group, and by the end of the day, we pretty much had a premise that we were going to develop. And then over the course of, I think it was about 8 months, from the point where we formed the team to the point where we actually launched the campaign a week before the movie launched. So as soon as they released the date that it was launching, we said, we're going to go live a week before that and just ride the hype train the entire way. And we did.
Well, and that's brilliant marketing right there too. But
Yeah, we had lightning in a bottle. We had to go with it, and it had to happen fast. And so,
for sure,
it was just one of those things.
For sure. And then, I guess Piper, what did we'll go back over to here. From your perspective, being the one that actually that wrote the story for this and everything, what was the first thing that popped into your head when you, without, like I said, without giving too much away, just like your initial reaction and the first kind of couple of thoughts that you were building off of when you first saw this post from Pixel?
My very first thought was, please tell me this is real. Like, like, please tell me this is really happening, because if it is, I would back it so fast. And I was actually like looking at the replies, and others were going like, is this a real thing, or it should be a real thing? And I'm like, yeah, it should. I'm gonna make sure it is. Like, there's like, so that was my initial thought. And then just staring at it, I immediately just thought like 80s action flick Hot Mermaid. Like
I love it. I absolutely love it. And then before we continue, real quick, Hopcrop. Hey there. Can't stick around but wanted to say hi. What's going on, Hopcrop? That's our buddy Webb from Dreams Uncharted. What's going on, brother? Glad for you just to stop by, man. And then I guess Erik, same question. Just kind of, what was your initial reaction when you saw that first post from Pixel, and what were the initial ideas that you had that popped into your head that led you to just reach out and be like, hey, I want to do this with you?
I think I had just wrapped up the Roddy Piper book recently, and I've been doing a few other things, and I hadn't really drawn a girl book in a while, and I do like drawing girls. So like part of my whole thought process when I told Pixel I want to draw this for him is like, I could just kind of see how cool this project would be. I was like, this is something I want to be a part of. Pixel's my boy. I would love to do a project with him. This just seems like the perfect thing. And in terms of like the designs and whatnot, I was fairly hands off because what he had done with a bunch of his mock-ups and things kind of already had the character of Coral, that's the actual name of the central character, kind of down. But one of the fun things that happened, and you can see a cameo right there, is with the Cocaine Shark, because around this same time, the Cocaine Bear movie had come out, and I'm a big shark guy. It's kind of hard to see. I mean, I guess you can see there's a Funko Jaws and some more Jaws stuff over there. I'm a huge shark guy, so I immediately did my own shit post. I drew up a mock cover for a Cocaine Shark comic. Little did I know that Piper was already writing in an idea for a Cocaine Shark in the story.
So it really just kind of lightning in a bottle.
Yeah,
there's so many of these moments that are coming together. It's like, this has to exist. So I'm confident we're going to get a movie deal out of this eventually.
Oh, for sure.
It really was like we're all working with the same brain. Sometimes.
Here, I'm just going to pull this up real quick just to, load. Come on, load, darn you.
Load. Here he is.
Come back over. Yep, just wanted to pop it up over here real quick. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe for anybody that backs it, whether it backs this book, Little Mercmaid, they will be getting a digital version of Cocaine Shark. Is that correct?
Yeah. At least on the digital side. The physical side, they're actually going to get a Golden Age size comic.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, I myself am very excited about this. And without having the context of how Cocaine Shark plays into Little Mermaid, I was very fortunate enough to be able to read Cocaine Shark, guys. And I was howling, and I was just slapping my knee and having a great time reading it on my tablet. I cannot wait to sit down and flip through it physically. The only thing I'm going to have to do differently is I'm going to have to probably either angle myself away from my 5-year-old or just sit there and say, oh, that's powdered sugar, baby. Because she loves sharks, and she is, my wife has turned my daughter into like a little bit of a twisted mind. She loves the movie Jaws at 5 years old.
Nice.
Oh,
And
nice.
so with Jaws and also with Jurassic Park, her favorite parts are when people get eaten.
Start them young. There you go.
Yep.
So yeah, so I can't wait to actually have a physical copy of Cocaine Shark in my hand. I'll let her kind of flip through it. Certain pages I may have to turn away from her, but
Yeah, I'm already working on issue 2 of Cocaine Shark. It's going to be called Miami Booger Sugar.
yes, you were talking about it back when you were on back in March. I can't wait for
Yeah.
that. That's gonna be awesome. I guess let's see. So this is, like I said before, this is actually your guys' second chance Kickstarter. And we'll actually come up to the covers, show the various covers, and we'll get into talking about the covers. So what? I guess my question would be, what kind of feedback were you guys getting on this when you actually announced that the book was legitimately happening, the team around the book, and then also once the initial crowdfunding campaign went live, and how'd that all go for you guys?
I think the build up was pretty simple. We already had all that hype going for it when I did that post, and then within the day, like I said, we had the team. So it was a matter of just announcing it and saying, "Hey, we're working on this," and then just staying relevant by posting new stuff as often as we could. But one of the things I did very quickly was create a Mermaid account, and I used that account on X and started antagonizing the Little Mermaid Twitter account at the time, and was
There
just
it is, right
following it
here.
around. I actually set up specific searches for terms and things that were like Little Mermaid sucks, just a bunch, whatever I could find that was very similar. And anytime somebody was talking trash, I was dropping in and saying, "Hey, I've got this alternative for you," kind of thing. And by the time we launched, we had over 400 people on our mailing list.
Oh wow, that's awesome. That's before you even launched, so that's
before
great.
we even launched. Yeah,
Dude, you're a marketing whiz, man.
Yeah.
I'm winging it, dude. I'm winging it.
Dude, aren't we all, brother? Aren't we all?
He's being humble, but he really does actually know what he's doing. And we're very happy to have him doing what he's doing. He's in the perfect role for this. The design, the stuff he's put together, that when you get to the covers, that G.I. Joe cover, that is all him.
Yes, here it is, right down here.
Yeah, he undersells himself just about as bad as I do. So
Yeah, actually, if you scroll down, you can see the full covers because these are just the fronts, but most of them have a back on them. So
and I saw you guys had Jose Garcia. You reached out to him. He was able to mock up the base cover for you guys, which he did a great job with that.
Yes. So what's funny about that is we originally only had it as a front cover, and we were looking at that going, man, we really need to extend this thing. So we went back to him and said, hey, we'd like to do this as a wraparound cover. And it turned out to be one of the. Oh, you all right?
No, you're good. I'm listening. Wife's looking for a screwdriver.
Gotcha.
They're too small.
We wound up going to Jose and saying, hey, we'd like to make this thing a full cover, and what can you do? And so we gave him a couple ideas, and he went with it. And the first time he brought it back to us, we were looking at it and we're going, it's not quite right. We need more carnage. And he's like, don't worry, fam, I got you. And he came back, and if you can, like, you may not be able to scroll in very well in this picture, but there are so many dudes in that dude's mouth.
The shark,
yeah,
that's in all of that, because he's got so many separate people inside of him.
Oh yeah, I mean I can see it a little bit bigger just on my monitor over here as opposed to in the screen share here up on the screen for everybody. But it looks like 1, 2. I see at least 3, maybe 4. I think I see 4.
There might be 5 or 6 in there. There's like
crap.
pieces. Yeah, it's insane. It was beautiful though. The amount of carnage when he brought that back, I'm going, yes, this is awesome.
So
and
no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
The Stabastian design was perfect as well. So we were still kind of working out how we wanted him to look. And when he came back with this piece, it kind of informed our idea for Stabastian. And we're like, we can go a little more cartoony with this thing. We don't have to be so realistic.
Okay, and that's actually where I was going to go next. Was actually talking about Stabastian. So
but he
for
still
anybody that
looks
doesn't
more
know,
like a crab than the Disney crab.
Yeah, and I'm saying Stabastian, not Sebastian, just for
Correct.
everybody watching. And who that is that it's this crustacean, this friendly crustacean right here, with a sword, a knife, a cutlass, depending upon how you want to look at the angle on the cover here. But so basically, this design here that Jose did kind of informed or helped lead to this design that
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
here blocking me out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a
because
previous
originally I was
version of him.
drawing a pretty realistic sea crab that had a
Yeah.
knife, and Pixel's like, yeah, we love this, so let's just lean into it.
Yeah, it's a
That's
lot more
awesome.
expressive to ignore where eyes and mouth and stuff on a crab actually is and just put them where it feels right, like that. You get a
Yep.
lot more expression out of it than you're gonna get out of a actual
Let me actually
crab.
let me actually close the lens on my camera. I'll let people soak up the the Stabastian design and love for another minute or two there. But so I guess we'll move on down here to well, actually no. No, before we talk more covers, because I want to cover all the covers. They're fantastic. So I guess Pixel Stabastian was, I guess, in the initial plans. So
Yeah.
obviously it's a big meme on Little Mermaid. What was the kind of key or the key factor in terms of turning him into what looks like a very psychotic and homicidal crustacean? Oh my God, Eric! There's something on you. I didn't even notice.
I can tell you two things.
Yeah, we could, there's two major things that inform this decision. That was what is it? The memes of
the video memes
yeah.
of crabs actually having knives and kind of running around the kitchens with them threateningly.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, and then the other one with the one smoking a cigarette. And so we
Yeah.
worked both ideas into the character. So he's a cigar smoking kind of war vet type like character with a knife for a hand. He's seen some shit.
And he is already my favorite character.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
we
go ahead,
really
Eric.
want to tell his origin story at a future date.
Yes.
You see, he survived a sushi restaurant, so
Yes, you were telling me. Yes, I want to see that played out in a full color spread right in the middle of the book. As
Yeah, he's
a
also-
big old splash page is what I want to see out of that.
Because of that, I kind of wrote him as he's their like resident human expert because he's
Okay.
actually been up there a lot.
Fair enough. Yeah, well, yeah, definitely.
Yep.
I love it. And just real quick, Cole King on YouTube says, "Great to see the Mermaid crew or Mermaid crew." I'm sorry, I keep forgetting my C's and my T's. Yarn Witch over on Rumble says, "Hey friends, hey Yarny, how are you?" And Big Z over on Rumble as well. Big Z Video Game says, "Hey all, hey Big Z, how are you? Everybody, welcome on in. Keep filtering in. I am talking with the crew behind the upcoming indie darling known as the Little Mermaid. Team Mermaid here with me. Currently funding on Kickstarter with 9 days left.
Yep.
Already fully funded. And this is the second Kickstarter campaign for the book. So even that's fully funded as well. But still get in on this, guys. Don't miss out. This is going to be a fantastic, awesome, really fun story. And this is definitely going to be something that I want up on my wall with everybody's signatures eventually in the future when I can see y'all guys at like conventions or something. Because
yeah,
you guys
we'll make that
do
happen.
panels on this book. I swear. You will be.
Friggin' crap! I forgot what I was gonna tell you. Oh yeah. The Kickstarter is also the only way you're gonna get certain exclusives. If you didn't catch it on Fun My Comic, you already missed a few. The Kickstarter is gonna be the only way to get another few.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and some
once
of the
this goes to
add-ons, I
print-
believe, correct?
Yeah, there's some
Right.
stuff
Yeah.
that won't make it to conventions.
Yeah, oh,
Exactly.
for sure. And we'll get through that. I'm kind of the way that I kind of did this with Michael Oden, and it just seems to work. It doesn't make sense for me, at least me, because the way my mind works, and it's just, okay, things are laid out in order. I'm just going to go with that layout. So if I go up and down the Kickstarter page, it's going to drive me crazy. So I'm just going to work my way down.
All good.
But this is cover B. Eric, you actually did this cover yourself.
Yeah, this is my baby.
Yeah, you did a fantastic job with this one, sir, and a very, very nice image for the fellas on the back there.
Thank you. So what happened when we were doing in production, we ended up having to change colorists. So if you actually go back and look at the Fun My Comic listing, originally she had a little bit different
Oh, the
face.
Fun My Comic. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm on a out there.
So what you're seeing here, the image that's on the back was kind of my. I hadn't drawn her for a little while because of we had to change colorists. We weren't getting any pages. I needed to pay some bills. So there was a bit of a hiatus. Coming back to the character, I really started to basically fall in line with the character and really get to know her. And so since we had this extra time, we decided to do the Second Chance campaign. And I started going back to some earlier panels I had drawn and redrawn those. Big Boy Robo, who I wish could be here with us. He's the fourth member of our team. He is coloring the book. He makes me look way better than I am. And I absolutely adore his work. So the stuff he's doing on the interiors. So going back and redoing some of the other pages and really just making this as best of a piece of work that we can possible. So if you compare and contrast, she got a different, better face here, a little bit more of the crazy going on. Me personally have kind of got a thing for the waterline shots. So that's why I did the cover the way I did, because I love that aesthetic. I tried to use it throughout the book as many times as I could.
And it works. It came out great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, and this piece right here is one of the first pictures that we had colored. Originally, we were talking about doing this as a black, white, and red kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And then we got the colors back, and we were just like, holy crap, this is awesome in color. I think we're going to do a disservice to this world if we don't do it in color.
All the water effects and stuff. Yeah, I was sold as soon as I saw it. I was like, oh, nope. We have to do color.
And shout out to your team on the colors. Big Boy Robo did most of the book, but you also had somebody doing the first handful of pages as well. If you want to give him a quick shout out, I apologize. I don't remember his name off the top of my head.
Yeah, it was Federico Sialk, and he, like you said, he had done the first couple of pages, but then we just ran into some issues with production time and stuff, and he wasn't producing when we needed, and so we said, okay, look, if you can't handle it, it's cool, no hard feelings, but we got to move on. Otherwise, we're not going to release this book for a couple of years. And so,
yeah, of course, and that's how things go sometimes, unfortunately. But but shout out to both of them, though. Definitely want to give credit where credit is due, though. Pixel, this one is actually your cover here, my man. Yes,
sir. And actually, those are the first two pictures of the Mermaid that were ever done after that, after the AI piece. So I wanted to try to kind of capture the mood and do what I could. And so the red one started out as just a black and white image, and then I threw color over the top of it. But it was the first time I'd drawn her. I was trying to get the mood for the thing. This is back when we were still doing the black, white, and red vibe.
Gotcha.
And then I stepped over to the other. There was an artist that I really wanted to get to do a cover because I knew I wanted to kind of capture that sexy thing. And there's an artist named Cute Sexy Robots that has done work for a lot of people, especially the Common America team. And I went to
I love that name. That's why I chuckled. Right? That's a good name.
It's awesome. But it was over $1,000 for the cover, and they had I think it was at the time a 2-year waiting list. And I'm like, okay, I've got 8 months. I can't do that. And so I said, you know what? Forget it. It's okay. Thank you so much. I'm gonna copy your style or try to. And so I tried to do my best impression of a Cute Sexy Robots cover, and this is what came of it. And I think I did okay. I captured the feel for it. Now, my character has, or at least my version of her, has more of an iridescent scale pattern kind of thing. Okay. We kind of went more towards the normal, like, mermaid kind of, like, bluish, greenish for the actual book itself. But originally, I was leaning more into this, like, iridescent kind of fish scale look to her. But
and it works. It's a nice. It's definitely nice to look at. I'm looking at the colors. Queen Comics wife, if you're watching. But no, it's the color of the scales though. It pops. It's definitely an eye catcher. So that was a great move. That was a great call on that one. And now I didn't even acknowledge yet the up at the corner here the Arrows Comics label. So is that what you guys are calling yourselves officially, or what is Arrow Comics exactly?
Arrow Comics is an actual label. I've done a couple of books under them, but Mermaid got to be the very first to launch their more mature line.
Oh, okay. Well, shout out to Arrow Comics then. So yeah, I didn't know that you guys were doing this under another publisher's brand. I thought this
Yeah.
was like, I mean, which is totally fine, and shout out to them. I thought you guys created Arrow Comics. I thought this was like your guys' start of your own publishing. So I wasn't sure about that, but thank you for clearing that up. So everybody go check out Arrow Comics after you back the Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Back the
Arrow
Little Mermaid.
Comics has actually been around for a very long time. They're a very early indie independent publishing company. Right now, they're in their 4th generation with Luke Stone and Randy kind of heading it up. Randy was a big part of the first Arrow Comics. He worked alongside the founders of it. Got the blessing of the founders to continue Arrow, and so they've been publishing a lot of Luke Stone's books. There's quite a few titles actually under Arrow. So if you look up Luke Stone, you look up Randy Zimmerman, any of those guys, you'll see the whole catalog and whatnot. So yeah, and we're very happy to be, the initial book under the more mature, I believe it's the 3G, the Girls, Guns, and Gore.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I'll move on down here.
I want to acknowledge it really quick. We'll go back up real fast. There is a cover D if you scroll down right in between the two.
Oh, gotcha.
So go back
no,
up.
never mind. There it is.
There you go. So there is a cover D. There's no cover D on this campaign because it was actually a Fund My Comic exclusive, and
Gotcha.
it was Eric Nadeltowski's version of the meme, and so he took it, redrew it, and actually it's a beautiful cover. It sold really, really well. It's a fantastic piece. We actually, if you want to pull it up, just go to FMC.
I was just going to say, yeah.
You can do it at fmc.littlemermaid.com.
Oh, fmc.littlemermaid.com.
Mermaid, yeah.
I keep forgetting the C. I'm a functional idiot. Don't mind me, guys. My audience knows this already.
It's okay,
So-
but like me now, even when I say Little Mermaid or try to, half the time it comes out as Mermaid, even when I don't want to.
Right?
So I get it.
Am I missing something? Is it just
Yeah,
Mermaid or Little Mermaid? Oh,
Little Mermaid. Yeah.
apologies. Again, functional idiot here, folks.
All good.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. That's fantastic. And you got the side-by-side. Yeah, he did a great job with that. Well, darn it. I missed out. Guys, you missed out too. But you know what you won't miss out on? You won't miss out on all the awesome stuff that they have for the Kickstarter if you go back the book right now. Let's go.
Yep. Absolutely.
We'll get back on over here. So now you've got this cover, which we were talking about earlier. You got the G.I. Joe cover.
Okay.
The G.I.
yes,
Joe
the story-
inspired cover.
The story behind this one is Star Wars. They did those action figure variant covers about 10 years ago or so.
Mhm.
And I saw them. I liked them, but I never thought they really got it right. It just didn't quite feel exactly the way I felt they should.
Yeah.
And so in my mind, I'm like, I can do better. And so when I had the opportunity here, Matt Barr did the line art. It's fantastic. And then I was like, this is definitely looks like a G.I. Joe thing. We got to make it like this. And so I talked to Billy Basco, Maxco, and Billy goes, yeah, I'll do it, man. I want to make this thing happen. And so he did a full-on paint over to make it look just like a G.I. Joe. And then I went to my buddy Art Tilt, said, dude, I've got this thing. I need it to look like an action figure. Can we make this thing happen? And he had already done the crab for me. So Stabastian here is actually a desk toy on my desk. He's a fully articulated, I can, form his legs. Have him
Oh,
clap
that's
and so-
awesome.
But I go, can we make this into an actual figure? And he's all, yeah, let me take a shot at it. And so over time, he developed the thing, worked through it, and we've got this thing almost refined to the point where we can actually print this out and have it be a real action figure. But he did a really good quality render of it for me. And I threw that in, did all the layout work and everything to try to match the original aesthetic. It's like if you look at all the little lines of text and everything, pretty much the entire thing has been customized to match like what it was on the original boards, but like mermaid themed.
It works, man. I never had G.I. Joe figures, but I see them at conventions and stuff that I go to, and it is spot on. Well done, sir. Well done. But you're talking about this if you guys really wanted to, can start print this into a toy line production. You got a Stabastian on your desk there, fully opposable. The first thing that pops in my mind is Invader Zim going, "I have a mighty knee."
Right?
Exactly.
And that is my
so
favorite gift to use.
literally the only thing holding us back is finances, and we've been really pleased with the. First of all, shout out to everybody who backed us on Fund My Comic, because this wouldn't exist without you guys.
For sure.
Overwhelming success there. We're doing great on the Kickstarter. So we definitely believe there's an audience for this brand. And I think once we get the book down and we get it in people's hands, if we come and say, hey, we've already got the action figure figured out, we just need to raise X amount, and you can have it as a figure on your desk, or in the case of the plushie of Stabastian, I really think we'll have a market for it.
Oh, there absolutely is. It's just it's about just getting it out into people's hands. And I mean, there's already people want this. They definitely want this. It's just a matter of telling more people who don't know they want it that it exists, because then they will want it. And that is the big thing.
Yeah, once we get the book done and printed, and everybody's got it in their hands, I'm going back out on the convention circuit. Hopefully I can get the rest of the crew to a couple of shows. We'll set up a booth, and we will have Mermaid there with some merch, and try to get chapter 2 started.
For sure. And what is it, when you're ready to start hitting the convention circuit with this, let me know. I know there's a couple in my area that pop up. I'd love to come and hang out with you guys and see it all in person.
Absolutely.
Now let's move on to a very interesting cover F here. So QR code. You'll get a special QR code on the cover, ladies and gentlemen. We'll call this the QR cover.
So the story behind this one is, every time I've seen a book go to Kickstarter, it's always had some kind of sexy, uncensored cover.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were talking about it, and originally I didn't want to show her topless ever throughout the entire thing. And finally we got to the point where we were going to Kickstarter. I'm like, okay, if we're going to do this, let's do it funny. And so what we did is we had Josh Van Halteren do a legit cover here. And when you receive this book, it's going to be uncensored. You're going to have her boob out, but we're making people pay to see it. So you're not going to be able to see it unless you actually back the book. The QR code, though, is funny. If you were to actually scan that right now, it takes you to something you'll see. But the original plan was for it to take you to the uncensored art so you could see it.
Okay,
but
you can't tell me that, because now I'm going to do it live.
I can do it live. Just forewarning, I've got about 3 minutes, and I got a hard stop. I got to go get my kiddo from daycare.
You're good.
But the guys can continue.
Oh, yep, that's awesome.
Thing.
So everybody at home, I'll leave this up for another 30 seconds so you can scan it yourself. I'm not going to spoil it, but that is, that's a good one there. It's so you're not getting rickrolled, ladies and gentlemen, but it is as good as a rickroll. But that's awesome. Yeah, and it just the work on it just looks great. Josh here, your cover artist, he did a great job as well on it. All the art, I can't really find the words because I'm not a writer, I'm not an art critic or anything like that. So usually amazing, fantastic, beautiful, and great are the top 4 words I use for describing art. If I don't say any of those 4 words, I don't like it. So so I'm not just sitting here throwing out generic, oh, this is great, that's great. That's literally one of the only words I can use to describe it, because I don't know what else. I'm not an encyclopedia of synonyms.
I like that all of the covers are very distinctly stylistically different from each other,
yes, they
instead
are.
of just like, here's this many artists doing almost, their version of like the same thing. I like how we've got, we've got the interiors, we've got the packaging look, but we've also got like super cartoony, but we've also got like the super hot, like they're all very different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Like you got a more realistic cover. Definitely the cartoony one, like you said. The Pixel Your cover. The first thing I thought of was kind of like Western anime almost. So yeah. I really liked the approach and the design on that one. And then obviously you have your not safe for work one as well. But before we get into, because we'll get talking to add-ons now. Oh, this is I'm just noticing this for the first time. Sharks
Mhm.
with pubes, ladies and gentlemen. Right here.
Zoom in on that word bubble real quick, because this is actually a fake word bubble here that you're really close to. But I don't know if you can see it. You're probably not gonna be able to see it from here, but
That's
that's
you know
okay.
what? Magnifier. Let's see if the
That's okay.
magnifier will work. Oh,
It-
nope, didn't work for me. But
That's
now
okay.
I have to get
It's
out
all
of my magnifier.
He just says something like, "Yo, them titties, though."
Yeah.
That's awesome. There we go.
Alright.
I had to open my control panel to close my magnifier. I'm an idiot with computers, but that's.
So I'm gonna
okay.
comment.
I do see it. That is cool. But
I'll
before
just mention a couple of things really quick before I bounce.
yeah, go ahead.
So there is an add-on, which I think is the next thing down, which is a ash can. There's only 100 of them available, and what it is basically you get the Keshis and then the escape. Yeah, right there.
There we go.
So, like I said before, we wanted to do a black, white, and red edition of the book. We changed our mind because of the colors and everything, but I've always wanted to revisit that. So, the ash can is going to be printed through Peter Samedi, and it is select pages and stuff from the book. It tells like the first kind of like the preview edition of the book.
Okay.
It'll have a few pages of the book in black, white, and red, so you could see what our original concept was going to look like. It's also
Gotcha.
going to have some artwork. It's behind the scenes stuff in it, and it's going to be really cool. But there's also an unlocked digital book that we have now. It's called The Art of AR-13L, and that is going to have a ton, like basically all the fan art that we got. We got a ton of pieces and stuff. It's all going to be full-size images of that. There's going to be like screenshots of our conversations from the back room. None of it incriminating, but enough to show how we kind of came up with the story. Like early sketches, some character design stuff, and just kind of give people a glimpse at how we built the book. And
Now, is that a stretch goal that was unlocked through the
that
campaign,
was a
or
stretch
is that
goal?
another app?
Yeah, that's a stretch goal. And
Okay,
the cool thing about that is all stretch goals that were unlocked that were not available over on Fund My Comic, because there were a few that were already there. Anything unlocked here is automatically going to FMC because we love those guys and they took care of us. We want them to feel like they aren't being left out, and so
For sure.
that's going to them. There's also a postcard that was just unlocked as well, which is going to them as well. And that's going to be the World Tour poster as a postcard. That's going to be going out to them as that
right here.
And then the last thing I'll just mention, if you were to go through the updates on the campaign, there's some artwork that just got released yesterday that we show off on our little tour that we're doing here. So there's pieces that you can see there. And then there's also some information about the next things that we're going to unlock. But with that said, I got to bounce. I got to go get my little guy. But it was a pleasure being on here, and I'm sure we're going to talk again soon. But I'll leave you in good hands. These guys know this thing perfectly. I'll catch up with you guys later.
No, for sure. Pixel, thank you so much, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Pixel Traitor, creator of Little Mercmaid, the brain behind the meme, behind the book.
See you, boss.
Take care, Pixel. Thanks for coming by, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, there we go. now that the boss is gone, let's get into some workplace gossip. But before, because I do want to go through just more of the add-on stuff, but before I do, real quick, let's hop into the chat and say hello to some more people that kind of filtered in. The Modern Creationist says, "Hey there, guys." Hearts. There we go. Yardwitch, who's been here hanging out on Rumble, says, "This seriously sounds awesome."
Thank
I'm
you.
glad you think so, Yarny. The links for anybody who's unaware, the link to the Kickstarter page is in the description, both on Rumble and on YouTube. So if you just scroll down into the description, expand the description, the link is in there. I believe the links for, well, not the links, but also the X handles for Piper, Erik, and Pixel are all in the description as well are the X handles for the X page for Ariel herself, and also for Stabastian, everybody's favorite psychotic knife wielding crustacean. So go check all that out. Also in the links as well, if anybody is obviously, I would want you guys to put your money towards this instead of towards me. But after you put your money towards this and back at least one book, maybe all the books, if you're still feeling generous after that, everybody, there are links for YouTube in the description to donate to the ComixDad channel. There's the Venmo, the PayPal, Ko-Fi, the Buy Me a Coffee. Donations are never expected, but always appreciated. But thank you guys so much for anybody who has done so in the past and anybody who does so in the future. And then folks on Rumble, you know what to do. Rumble, rant, subscriptions, all that stuff. But again, never asked for, never expected. Just always appreciated though. But let's keep on going. Let's get back over here to the campaign. So we will talk about add-ons now as we get down here. So here we go, add-ons. And what's a Kickstarter campaign without add-ons? So this first one is really cool. So you guys got some 3D printed, multicolored figurines here.
Yeah, these are called keshis. So kind of think about like the old muscle figures we got as kids.
Yes.
So along the same lines as that.
Okay. And so are the, now is it just the Mermaid that are going to be available as add-ons, or
I believe so. Yes.
Okay. Because I think you showed me that you had a Stabastian one personally made for you that was sitting around somewhere at some point, I think. So I'm sure everybody will be looking for more Stabastian merch as the books get in hands. So just be prepared. But that's a really cool, nice little touch. What led to the decision for just having these as an add-on? Just like a nice little.
Just another cool thing. Like one of our supporters, another good, talented guy, Erik, or Erik, I think it's spelled with an A though. He does these things. He's done them for other campaigns. It's like a 6 a.m. comic sticker about everybody that's doing indie comics needs to have one of those. I got that too with the through the Fund My Comic one, but
I have seen them in other places, but I gotta say these are probably the best looking ones I've seen.
Yeah, absolutely. You gotta go with our girl Coral.
For sure. I apologize. I'm not doing. We'll get to these because these are awesome, and I'm so sad because as much as I would like to get one of these, I just unfortunately personally can't. But everybody needs to get one of these with their pledges. But before we get into that, I actually failed my job as a host and recognize more of the chat. Shellfrogs is here. Says, "Hail ComixDad in chat." Hail Shellfrogs. C&D Designs is here. Says, "Yo C&D Designs. What's going on, brother?" And then Pixel Traitor, Stabastian is hidden on the side of the keshi.
Oh, nice.
So these things, Oh, there he is. I see him right down here. So you guys, if you can see that, you get Stabastian included, so you get a 2-for-1. So definitely go grab a keshi or two on your add-ons when you pledge. But so with the skate decks, what I personally have not seen. Now, granted, I haven't been roaming around crowdfunding indie comics for a very long time, but I have not seen personalized or not personalized, but customized skate decks on a Kickstarter before or any kind of crowdfunding before.
I mean, this is the genius of Pixel because, to my knowledge, nobody's ever done this. We did it on the Fund My Comic, and they were very popular.
That really started with one day in the group working DM kind of thing. Him just going, "Hey, look what I found! Like, look what we can do!" Which has been a lot of the stuff where I'm just looking in there going, "That is awesome! I want one."
Yes. Again, I have a mighty need.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my wallet does not have a mighty need. But that's just my personal wallet. You guys know what's going on with me. But my question is, I guess, after the Kickstarter, is this one of the Kickstarter exclusive add-ons, or will these also be available after the campaign? Because I would love to get at least one, if not both of these eventually.
As far as I know, it's just with a campaign.
Okay, so anybody watching, you back the book, you get one deck, you get a second for your boy ComixDad. That'll be your donation from the year, and I'll be forever indebted to you. But no, these are awesome, and the one obviously is the cover A full spread, and then the artist Stabastian here, the Stabby deck B. Where is this something that's featured? Is this a piece that's featured inside of the book? Is this a panel? Or is this
that's a cropping of my cover.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
So it's the art that's literally behind you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh crap! I didn't even notice that. Oh, there he is on the side there. Yeah, don't mind me. Like I said, I'm dumb, people. I'm dumb. It is what it guys. I was talking to Jay the other day. He's like, oh, don't be so negative about yourself, man. I'm like, dude, that's just me. Self-deprecating humor is my thing. Like, nah,
Right?
man, don't be so negative. Okay, Jay, I appreciate it, but nah, I'm a functional moron, so it's all good. And then we've got the ash can down here that Pixel was talking about. But this looks amazing, guys, and I personally cannot wait to get a copy of this or two into my hands. Um, and if you go follow the different pages, you go follow the Mermaid X account, the Stabastian X account, you go follow Pixel, Erik, Piper. I'm sure they will all be putting up updates. Why do my messages keep popping up? Stop it, X. Stop it. Uh,
Yeah, I
but
don't like that feature either.
yeah, I am sure that they will continually be putting out posts and updates, even well after the Kickstarter this Kickstarter campaign has finished.
Oh yeah.
But we only have 9 days, so you guys need to go get this while you can. Now, once fulfillment has started, what is the plans from there? Do you guys, or at least from what you guys know and have brainstormed and talked about already? Obviously, Erik, you were saying convention circuit, but will there be somewhere that people can get this into their hands without having to maybe go to a convention or backing it here just in case? Now, obviously, the goal for tonight, everybody, is to back it here because you'll get it first and foremost before it's available anywhere else. But in the future, though, let's say somebody is in a situation similar to some other people, maybe to myself right now. If they can't back it right now, will there be a way they can get it in the future?
Yeah. I mean, I think it should go on the Arrow Comics store.
Okay,
And also probably like, it'll still travel to conventions and you can
Yeah,
probably
I'm always
pick
going
it
to
for
up.
have a
sure,
stock. I'm going to have a stock at my table
Yeah.
whenever I table at a show. So
for sure, of course. But yeah, but again, everybody, go back it now because that also will take some time to print to print enough stock for selling online, for selling at conventions, all that. And as much as I love going and grabbing books at conventions for stuff like this, get it early, get it quick, and get a lot of it. Get every cover, every add-on, get everything, guys. And no, I am not saying this because I want some of it myself. Actually, okay, I am maybe just a little bit because you guys take care of me and Queen Comics Wife, but maybe just hook me up this one time, guys. I promise I'll make it up to you. But no, I am just so excited for this, Erik. When I had you on back in March and we were talking just a little bit about this, not nearly as in depth as we are tonight. I was excited back then, and I appreciate you guys being here to talk more about this tonight. I guess what would be your favorite for both of you guys? I guess what would say is your favorite, not necessarily moment in the book to avoid spoilers, but maybe what was your favorite moment of being able to work on this? Like in just in terms of just whether it was in the brainstorming process, in terms of the actual writing, or in terms of actually character design and doing the pencils, Erik, on your side maybe, but just throughout this whole thing, maybe it's just been talking about it on various shows, or maybe the camaraderie that you guys have all built working on this. But what is just one thing that you would say would have to be one of your favorite moments from concept to now for both
I
of
think
those?
my favorite is the brainstorming that went on, and excitedly being able to tell them how much of that actually could fit and get translated into the script. Like, oh, I know how to work that in. Um, and still, like, there's so much that got left on the table because there's only so many pages. Um, oh, which I did want to actually say really quick that this is a complete story.
yep.
Yes, yes.
So there's
So
no bit to be continued. There's no waiting around for another one to get the conclusion or anything. But there was so much stuff that did not fit in this. That we have plenty of material that came from these brainstorming sessions for way more books.
and that's what I like to hear because unfortunately it does happen in the indie comic space where an initial book will go out, and even if it's well written and well done, sometimes unfortunately, whether it's through just funds or means, or maybe people move on to different projects, sometimes we don't get a second or a third issue and the story feels incomplete. So that's, and even even in indie comics, because we don't really see long runs like we see in the mainstream. I like that when indie comics, even if they have several issues, that each book is a self-contained story and that there is an end to the story. So I do appreciate that you were able to do that with this. Um, Eric, what about you, sir? What are your favorite moment, start to finish?
I think it was when I came back from the hiatus after working through Achromatic Chronicles with Jay, and just falling in love with the character all over again. Because I got so much energy, because it really clicked. I'm like, oh man, I got to go back and redo some of these panels because I know who she is now.
Mhm.
And we initially had a 48-page story. Then we unlocked the stretch goal and found my comic to do 60. But Piper had written some really great stuff near the tail end, and I'm like, I gotta stretch this out. So some of the panels turned into full-page spreads and whatnot. And I mean, there's the one with the Gatling gun. I can't wait for people to see. That's my favorite page in the whole book, is when she's manning a Gatling gun, and it just, again, shout out to Big Boy Robo because it looks beautiful.
Now, is that the one? Because I think I've seen the image you're talking about. Is that the one where she's walking across what looks like an oil rig or something? Is that the one you're talking about?
No, that's the one where she boards the ship for the second time.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
Because
there
there
two
was
Tommy guns in that one, which was a fun thing that Piper wanted, and I drew it as a test page, and it just kind of sat there until she could figure out where to work it into the story.
Because when we decided on like the era of to put it, I was like, Tommy guns have to be here somewhere. I want to see some Tommy guns. He found a perfect way to put them in there. 2 of them. I was so hyped.
that's awesome. And then just real quick over here, Flip City Magazine over here says, "Yo, Pixel, hey, it's that cool guy Eric. And it's that cool gal Piper too. Flip City, come on, Flip City,
Justice for Piper.
justice for Piper."
Justice for Piper.
What was it? I think Pixel was sharing with me something that I think like was about justice for Piper. Once in a while, like, oh yeah, Pixel Traitor and Erik Hodson. No, we got Piper. We got Piper Steed. What's going on? So that's also why I wanted to get you specifically on here, Piper. Hashtag justice for Piper. Let's go.
Like, hi, I help too. I'm one of the 3 co-creators.
And then oh, Pixel actually said the site itself will have merch and limited cover availability. So cover A, I'm assuming, is the base cover, and that will be, I guess, the more mass-produced cover, and then everything else will just be in limited quantities. I guess that question's more for Pixel if he's still watching.
Not if I can help it, because I love my cover. So
I was gonna say at least Eric's for sure. I mean, he's the interior, so in my head,
sure.
he's the main cover. The interior artist is the main cover in my head, always. But
oh, I agree. I absolutely agree. That's why just to kind of steer, I guess, a little bit into the mainstream. But that's why I love the Ultimate Spider-Man run currently, the base covers of each issue, because that is Mark Giacchetto doing all those base covers as well as the art on the inside. So I love seeing when the interior artist does the cover art as well.
Yeah.
You got to have that.
And C&D Designs, there we go, says, I'm working on backing.
Thank you, sir.
woo!
C&D, brother, that is awesome. Thank you so much, man. And everybody, be sure to go back this over on Kickstarter. The link, again, is in the description of both streams. Click the Back This Project button. If you don't have a Kickstarter account, you better damn well make one, because this is something that needs to be in everybody's carts. I am going to be... and a little tip, because I know sometimes people get a little hesitant on Kickstarter, especially because the funding doesn't actually pull from accounts until the last day. If you are good at keeping reminders for yourself, I will say, if you want to make sure that you're not like going a week and like maybe looking at your bank account a week from now and going, hey, wait, I thought I had X amount of dollars in here. What happened to it? Well, that was the Kickstarter officially funding. what I personally like to do, because I am prompt, I like to make reminders for myself, is I will wait until a campaign hits the 24-hour mark, and I will then back at that point, because then the next day I'll know where that money went. But I'm forgetful. That's just me. If you're better than me with knowing what you have planned with your money, go ahead and back it tonight. But just a little tip and trick that I've discovered on Kickstarter. So if you guys, Pixel and Eric and Piper, if you're not seeing an influx tonight, I guarantee you in the in the final 24 hours you will see a massive influx, because I think that is the mindset of people on Kickstarter sometimes, is that especially with just how the platform works. But
Yeah.
everybody, regardless whether it's tonight or in 8.5 days, make sure you go back to this book. I guess my next thing I would, because Eric, we discussed this when we had you on Talking Shop back in March. So I guess this is more for Piper. Piper, how did you get into just wanting to write for comics and involved in comics? And is this the first indie book that you've written? And if not, if you just want to go into a little bit of your history for everybody, so this way they kind of know what they're in store for when they go to read your work.
Um, Actually, my little girl dream was at first to draw comics. I know it sounds weird now. um, but the problem was I didn't really want to draw other people's characters. I was like, no, you know what? I want to make up my own stuff to draw. So that's when I realized, well, then that means I also want to write comics. And growing up in my head for a good while, the big two and then some of the huge but indie things were what I was exposed to. And I was like, okay, there's no, this is not a career in my head. This is not, a viable career that I'm gonna be able to pull off. Uh, and I need to get real and go do this and that and keep drawing and writing as a hobby. But then the crowdfunding scene, indie scene, blew up, and so I'm chatting with, befriending people in the exact same position I was in, being able to live their dreams thanks to the power of the internet. And so I was like, oh well, that's I can do this. I can actually do that childhood dream. Um, but I started small and helping other people and being an editor because I double majored in, well, I almost double majored. I dropped one, but it was English literature and visual communications, and I stuck to the visual communications. But as a part time, I was already an English tutor. Um, I was editing so much stuff already, and editing comics because I wanted to write comics so much was like way more fun than the stuff I was editing. And word of mouth, basically, like of the community, had people coming to me and hiring me to be their editor. Because at first I was just doing it for friends, um, in my free time, and then I started getting hired, and I was like, oh shoot, took it a lot more seriously then, and I loved that so much. Uh, a couple of anthologies kind of deals gave let me do I have a couple of like 10-page scripts in them,
Okay.
but I've never actually seen the books. Like I wasn't involved enough in the books. It was more like, hey, you want to write a script for this book, and then I followed it, and then it would just kind of disappear off my radar, and I'm like, oh well, I don't know what happened to that. Luke Stone of Arrow Comics, like they already had me down as Arrow Comics editor because I became like the hybrids editor.
Oh,
um,
okay.
and then they would bring me a few other Arrow Comics scripts to edit here and there, or
Very nice.
just some like the lettering to look over for mistakes and stuff. So he gave me my first break of let's actually like you write an entire comic. That's Rift Writers.
Mhm.
Um, and then I'm already sitting here like I have a folder of like a million different ideas and scripts that I would know that I want to make comics of, but I'm still a chicken. I really like being a co-creator more than the sole responsible person. This Mermaid, I saw that crap post, that shit post. I saw that post, and I was like, if I don't write anything else, I need to write this one. When I was 5, I was the Little Mermaid, man. Like, you couldn't get me out of the water without a fit. I was upset my hair wasn't red. Uh, it was the first movie I ever saw in theaters to get the theater watching experience.
She pulls off the red hair pretty well too on occasion.
Okay.
There's actually been times when I've done red hair and people were telling me that it was nice that I went back to my natural hair, and I'm like, no, my natural hair, it was the black. Like,
Gotcha.
like the red is not natural for me, but I'm pale and got freckles, so that's why.
But yeah, the assumption. Oh, it's a ginger. Hey, we love gingers here. My
Yeah, technically, I have a mutation of the ginger gene. The ginger gene is in my family. We got, I know at least one. Like uncle was full on like with the red hair. Somehow I got the black hair, but then everything else from the ginger gene, while my other family's like tan.
yeah, that's my older one. She's got a really nice red tint in her hair that she's got from her great grandmother on my wife's side. But yet she does not have the complexion to go with it though. So I hear you there.
Yeah, I got the complexion and not the hair, and then everybody else kind of got the hair. Well, they got the hair and the complexion correctly. I should have the capability of tanning, and I don't. Like, I'm not capable. I don't have the same undertone as my whole family.
My sister, I feel seen because this is it. This is it for me.
Yep.
That's all it is. I'll get red, and then I'll go right back to that. So.
Yes. Yes, when I'm sitting there like, oh, look, I got tan lines, it's because I have a sunburn, and I'll get excited, and then it's gone.
This is my tan. Lobster
this
red.
is my tan. I just turned
Stabastian red is
Yeah.
my tan. But it's my wife. She loved Little Mermaid as well. One of her favorite Disney movies. She loved it as a kid. Still loves it to this day. At least the original. We don't talk about the other one in our house.
I don't even
So
know. I like to keep forgetting the other one happened.
but so she's just as excited as I am to get this in her hands and and read it, because like you, loves Little Mermaid, but now being an adult, want to see something a little cool, a little more mature, a little more, maybe a little more violent from time to time.
Kind of was like, if somebody's going to screw with the Little Mermaid, story, like you do stuff, then I want to be the one that does it, and I want to do it my way. Like,
exactly. The one thing, I guess, if you guys do end up working on a second book with a lot of the material that you wrote, the one thing that I'm trying to channel her and think like her for a second, that she would love to see in a second book is something with a sea turtle, because she loves sea turtles. She is, I say all the time, she is the female equivalent of the I Like Turtles kid. Every time she talks about turtles or you see one on TV, I go, hey babe, I like turtles.
I love it.
When we were down in Disney a few years back, before we had learned how evil Disney truly is under Bob Iger, because we were fool enough to give them our money. But we did the whole talking with Crash experience, and she got to talk to Crash. Because my older one said she got the microphone in front of her, and she told the guy doing the Crash voice, "My mom loves turtles." Like, she does. Oh, I need to hear from this chick. So my wife got to talk to Crash, and he called her an honorary turtle, and that made her life, basically.
Oh, wow. I'll keep that in mind. I'm still kind of thinking about whether or not I want to do like some equivalent of Scuttle.
Ooh.
Because I hate seagulls, so it'll be like it'll be really
so
bad.
Does my wife. You know what? You and my wife might want to brainstorm on like half an issue for one of the future books or something. That you very much similarities here.
Nice.
Then Eric, like I said, I know you were on the channel in the past, but we have also grown in viewership and in people that check out the channel since then. So if you maybe want to give just a little bit of your background for everybody there, that may be watching it either now that wasn't here last time, or that may be going and watching it back. If you just want to give a little bit of how you got into what you're doing and what this whole experience has meant to you as well after working on this book, besides just your career as well.
Well, I've been drawing my own independent comic books since 2005. started out doing my own little thing, which was a carryover from characters I had developed in high school. Did that for a few issues, got a teaching degree, came back and did a pitch that was supposed to support a video game that didn't happen, and then went back into the convention scene, started working on my art, doing fan art. I started publishing a webcomic called Chad the Fat Kid. I was very big on Drunk Duck comics back in the day, in the early days of webcomics. I think it got to be number 2 on that website for a few months. And that was all about high school bullying and being the fat art nerd, which I was. So this is something that's always been in my blood. This is something I'd be doing if I wasn't getting paid. It's just, I have an inner desire to tell stories. So one of the best stories I can tell coming out of the Mermaid book is that's how Jay found me. He saw my cover, and he was working on the concept for Daughter's Revenge, which I'm 32 pages into right now.
And Jay found you for just so I have the timeline right. It was off of your Chad the Fat Kid.
No, he found me off of the Mermaid book.
Oh, it was off of the Mermaid book. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
When that cover started circulating.
Sorry, I was answering a message for those you don't know that we've got some company hanging out. So my wife was messaging me real quick, like, "Hey, where is this? Where is that?" So I was just answering the message real quick. So I may have missed that part. I do apologize, but I just got to make sure that the house isn't burning down behind me because I'm very oblivious to everything when I'm on stream. So,
and I have this whole separate comic gig with a publishing company, Mess Bucket Comics. We do wrestlers. During my fan art days, I did a lot of wrestling art, and I got very popular in that scene. And that led to the opportunity to do a comic book starring Roddy Piper. We're getting ready to publish this month. The Kickstarter should be launching for the British Bulldog UK Defender.
Awesome. I know you were talking about that when you were on.
Kurt Angle, I believe. And this is a whole little universe of wrestlers as superheroes.
Yes.
So I'm very blessed to have people who believe in me, surrounding me, giving me work, and being able to tell these really cool stories. I've got my own Dreaded Dinosaur Man on Webtoon, which I want to get back to eventually, because I have a huge story for that. I got some projects that I got a pitch for heavy metal that I want to do, and some other things related to that. Jay and I are cooking every day on stuff for down the line in the future. So, yeah, it's been wonderful, and I absolutely love the Mermaid. I would a second book. My big wish list would be Nazi flying saucers and the Antarctic ice wall. I got an image for a cover with her coming out of the ocean, still with her tail, giant M60 on a flying saucer.
Yes. I love it. Piper, you've got some work to do, it sounds like.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm sitting here like, how do I go from the 50s Argentina to that? That's going to be great.
Well, it seems like, and unfortunately, this is something I actually wanted to ask Pixel about, because between talking with Michael Oden last week and then I've been talking to Pixel over the last couple of weeks as well, and I don't know how involved in this concept you guys are, both of you respectively, but Mercules is apparently a thing that's turning into maybe another thing, a bigger thing.
That's separate from us, but yeah, Pixel, just another shitpost, man, and he found out that Disney's going to be doing a live-action Hercules coming up too. So,
gotcha.
It has nothing to do with it.
He should have known that was
the
going to
Mercverse is happening.
Yeah, well, and that's exactly it. It's like you guys are kind of laying the foundation of the Mercverse, and even if you guys aren't going to touch every title in the Mercverse, which I want everybody hashtag Mercverse, by the way, because I want it all, and I want it now. It's gonna be really awesome. It's got to be really awesome for you guys to know that you're kind of helping lay the foundation for the beginning of this, not just this one title that can grow, but like an entire brand almost.
Oh yeah,
that can grow and expand out on that.
And as Piper said earlier, there's so much stuff on the cutting room floor. There's plenty to build lore around. So if you you can kind of catch it in the pages. Yeah, you can kind of catch it in the pages that are on the Kickstarter campaign, but the brand name of the cocaine is Snow White.
Okay, don't tell my 5-year-old because she loves Snow White. Eric,
Oh,
do not. If Lord willing, if we ever get to see you at a convention one day,
that's the brand of
I
the
do
sugar.
not. Yeah, I do not want to have to blame Erik Hodson, the dreaded dinosaur, for why my daughter is loves booger sugar in the future because it's called Snow White.
Just tell her it's normal sugar. You'll be fine.
I don't want to have to sit there and say, "Damn you, Eric, you talented bastard." But let's hop over to the chat. So Pixel Traitor, since we're talking just real briefly about backgrounds, he goes, since I'm still in chat, I'll share what my background is. I have over 25 years in software development and graphic design and illustration. I've worked with professional sports teams, major car manufacturers, and all sorts of professional organizations over my time in the industry. And also, Pixel Traitor is also involved with the guys that run Fund My Comic. He helps them out with a lot of their stuff as well. So shout out to Pixel Traitor on that. And then let's get in here into the chat. We've got John Ambler popped in, says, "Hail chat, hail John Ambler. How are you, brother?" Real Tomby said, "Okay, time to jog. Later's all. Tomby, later, brother. I hope you were enjoying your time down in Tennessee." Tomby is a friend from across the pond. And he's going to be moving to America in the next 5 years, within the next 5 years, hopefully. So we got to meet up with Tomby last week. He and his wife came to the house. It was really awesome. Cool. So, hail Tomby. C&D Design said, "My pledge is in. Can't wait."
Somebody needs a crab dance.
There we go. I'll just do one. Pixel says, "Crush rules." C&D, Vindicta. But yeah, guys. So I guess while I have you all here, because we're gonna close this out a little bit. This I have not eaten dinner yet, so my tummy is getting rumbly since we're gonna stick to the Disney theme. But is there other than this? Do you guys have anything going on that maybe you have coming up that you're working on that you want people to maybe know about, or if you just want to just push your X pages or any other things that you're associated with, or push something that you're not associated with that you know about? This is your time. So Piper, we'll start with you.
Can you ask the question again?
Basically, is there anything you'd like to promote or talk about, whether you're involved in it or something that you're just really interested or passionate about?
Oh, shoot. If you also like video games and or anime, then I'll promote my when I'm not writing or editing comic scripts, I stream video games as an anime character, and I stay in character the whole time. And it is a lot of fun. That's over at the X is F Giggity.
Because I will grab that right now. Is that over on YouTube that you're doing that?
Twitch. Because Twitch actually gives me money over there for it.
Fair enough. So the what is the name of it? Because I'll look it up right now and grab the link.
On Twitch it's Fizzgiggity. FYZZGIGGIDY. All run together.
Okay. So I grabbed it and I am popping it into chat as we speak. Piper's gaming channel on Twitch. There we go.
I call it like escapism at its finest, because not only I'm playing video games, but I'm being a character while doing it.
Fair enough.
So I don't even have to be me like multiple times over. It's great.
You know what? It may be great. I like this version of Piper too, though.
Awesome.
Can't
go wrong with an original.
keep being the original you, anime you, be all the yous. But because I like to say sometimes I got voices in my head and I'm different personalities too. So I hear you, Eric. So I hear you, and somebody there wanting your attention. So
the cat's meowing through the door. She's literally like.
Ours does the same thing.
Her food bowl is in here, so.
Well, so this way, kitty can eat. Eric, what? I know you talked about the projects you got going on, but if you either want to double down on those, or if you have anything else that you haven't mentioned, or maybe if you want to shout out another project that maybe you're passionate about, but maybe you're not associated with as well, just whatever you want to shout out, go ahead, man.
So if you have Amazon or Apple or Google Play, I'm in a documentary film called Selling Superman. It is about a dear friend of mine who inherited a massive comic book collection and the psychological torment of the his dad was a psychopath collector, and it just ruined the family, tore the family apart. And so there's a really involved story there that led to me coming in and drawing the art for the graded comic books. And so I'm in the documentary film in the 3rd and 4th episode. So please check that out. It's a really good story, especially if you're a dad, because there's a lot to do with that family dynamic, a lot to do with mental health. It's a very powerful story. I'm very proud of my involvement in there. And if you collect comic books and you want to own a piece of history from the film, head on over to fantascollection.com, and you can get some books that come from the collection that this whole film is based around. So definitely check that out, please. I'm actually starting a new YouTube channel because I've been trying to brand everything under my Dreaded Dinosaur. So any social media you're on, if you look for @DreadedDinosaur, you can follow me there. Mainly X, Rumble, YouTube. I do have a Facebook page, but I never visit it. Instagram is the same thing. So,
Face Meta itself is a
Meta
nice brand.
sucks.
Yeah.
This place sucks. But yeah, so what I want to do is it's called My Corner of Fandom, and it's literally this. I collect all of this crazy stuff, and it's stuff that I want to talk about. So it'll give me some. And I'm just going to be doing videos. I won't be doing in live streams until the channel gets up and running. So I just cut the video for unboxing this big guy. So I'm looking forward to getting that posted.
I know. When you posted just the box of it, what was it, last week? I think it came in. I was like, I need to see it. Like, okay, I guess I'll make a video on it. Yes,
you and your viewers are getting a sneak peek because I haven't posted any pictures of him. So
yes. Oh, it looks so great. Oh, I love it.
oh yeah, that would be my two addendums. And thank you very much for doing this because as somebody who is constantly drawing every second that I can, I really don't have time to develop a YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. It's mainly for my own mental health and just trying to do something that's not work and try to have some fun with it. But I want to do my own thing to promote what I'm working on because I really love the projects and the people that I work with.
Oh, for sure.
Piper and Pixel, Jay, Dominic with Mess Bucket. I'm so very grateful to have people who aren't like drama tards creating needless headaches because I got enough in my own life privately.
Yeah.
And so this is a break for me to be able to do creative stuff and whatnot. So I'm just very thankful and very happy to be here. And I appreciate all the support.
Of course, Eric. And hey, I love having you on, brother. You are more than welcome back anytime, Piper. You as well. Pixel. No, I'm just kidding. Pixel, you come on back too, man. I'd love to have you all back, whether it's for the next book in the series or just if you guys want to come hang out, talk comics and other stuff. I know I'm probably going to be doing. I'm playing around with the idea of maybe something exclusively on Rumble that to talk about some more things that maybe like YouTube or like people or like companies that do heavy advertising with YouTube may not like. So if you guys ever want to come and just basically do the shit posting, but verbally instead of on X or something like that, when I get that started, I'll reach out to you guys. We can deal with that. So, but yeah, I appreciate you guys, both you, Piper, Eric, and also Pixel, for hanging out, for coming on. It's been an honor. It has been absolutely my pleasure to have you guys here to talk about your book. Guys, again, make sure you head over to Kickstarter to fund this. AR-13L, The Little Mermaid, a fairy tale with a body count. Got 9 days left. Go back it. Go get all the covers. Go get all the add-ons, all the cool stuff. Support this team, Team Mermaid, and what they're doing, because without people like Eric, like Piper, like Pixel, and then other people who are doing great things in indie comics as well, without people like them to carry the mantle and to try to make comics better with every project they work on, comics will eventually just be left at the mercy of the big two. and will die out within years probably because of the low quality that we're getting from them, as opposed to the high quality stuff we're getting from these creators, these very talented, wonderful artists and writers that are working on these independent books. So let's make indie the mainstream is basically
Yeah.
what I want to say. So
I feel like mainstream got too comfortable in their position, thinking they were
yes,
end all be all in comics. But more and more indies are starting to blow up, and I think that's what's going to happen. Is comics in general are going to start being more associated with the individual creators than these big mainstream publishers.
oh for sure, and I am here for it
Hmm.
because then also hopefully that'll lead to Comic Cons being actual Comic Cons again.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, yeah. Right before we get going, last couple of chats rolled in. John Ambler said, "Just pledged." John Ambler, hail, John
Welcome to the
Ambler.
crustacean crew.
CD Design said, "Save the drama for your mama."
Darn right.
Pixel Traitor said, "Insider / Mercules will probably be the next fun thing on my side." And Pixel, I will whenever you want to come on and talk about it, man. I know Michael Odin's going to be involved in that with you, who was here last week. We were talking about his book Elysian Fields Reborn. So whenever you want, Pixel, if you want to get the crew that's going to be working on that together as well, you guys are always more than welcome here. So we're looking forward to that. John Ambler says, "Big boobs, mermaids with guns is something I can get behind." Well, everybody, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys. Again, be sure to go check out Kickstarter. Link is in the description. Be sure to follow all my wonderful guests tonight on X. Their handles for X are in the description because I didn't want to clutter the description with links and links and links. And please don't mind the joy that you can all hear in the background.
Oh, it's adorable.
It's my kids and it's my kid's friend and her little brother are all here hanging out, having a good time. So it's a lively house tonight over here. But I have it over here on the screen share. Just go follow Piper on X at Piper's Adventure. Follow Eric at Dreaded Dinosaur. Follow Pixel at Pixel Traitor. Follow the book at Little Mercmaid. And follow everybody's new favorite comic book mascot, Stabastian, at Stabastian Crab. And be sure to go, again, check out the campaign. And then also, this awesome world tour. Be sure to go check out the previous interviews and shows that these guys have done right here. If you go to thelittlemermaid.com, you can go check out previous streams as well. If maybe there's something about the book that you wanted to learn that wasn't discussed here on the channel tonight, you can go check it out on any of the other many shows that you guys have been on. But hopefully ComixDad is your channel and show of choice. But guys, thank you so much again for being here. Piper and Eric, I appreciate you guys. Pixel, I appreciate you. Chat, I appreciate all of you. And remember, everybody, to be good to yourselves, be good to each other. Support your local comic shops. Support independent comic creators like Eric and Piper and Pixel and the Team Mermaid crew. And be sure to support small independent creators as well, such as myself, Queen Comics Wife, Eric when he gets his channel started, and all the various friends of the channel that we have as well that are all doing their thing out on whether it's Rumble, YouTube, whatever. But just go support everybody. But thank you, everybody, so much. You all have a fantastic night. This is ComixDad signing off. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
That's what I was looking for. There we go.